If you are a teenager, you're probably concerned that lifting weights will stunt your growth. If you are an older adult, an elderly individual, you might be concerned that you will start lifting weights and you might lose even more height on your body, right? You might even be somebody who's just middle-aged too, and you're like, I don't want to lift weights because I'm already short. So let's break this down. What's the logic here behind lifting weights stunting your growth? Well, the logic is that when you work out and specifically lift with heavy weights, this can cause your growth plate basically to fracture or have damages, okay? So when you're trying to grow, when you're younger, you have these things called growth plates, which are developed, and basically they're the different areas that show where you're growing. And again, the logic is that when you're doing heavy weights, this might fracture or break them at some point. So here's the evidence currently. We got two good sources here: the National Sports and National Strength and Conditioning Association (NSCA) and the American Academy of Pediatrics. Both have a couple stance here. So we can see that the American Academy of Pediatrics, focusing on adolescent weightlifters, properly designed resistance training programs have no apparent negative effect on linear growth, growth plate health, or cardiovascular system of children and adolescents. Boom. Score one for lifting. The NSCA. Resistance training can offer unique benefits for children when appropriately prescribed and supervised. Boom. Score two for weightlifting. So essentially here, a lot of this research has kind of grown over the years, and lifting weights does not harm your growth if done in a certain way, okay? So if you go into the gym and you immediately have an adolescent weightlifter do a large amount of volume, a large amount of weight where they're hitting it super hard, not focusing on technique, and building a bunch of overuse injuries, yes, this could actually affect your growth. But what I do with somebody who's younger, and what most people do who are trying to keep their adolescents strong and just get them into lifting, is to focus on the basic movements: squatting, deadlifting, rowing, doing push-ups, and just getting them generally strong for that position. We're not trying to get them to gain a bunch of muscle. We're not trying to max them out. We're just trying to get them generally fit and trying to get them generally proficient at those movements. We're focusing on the technique, which allows them to build that motor pattern. Because if you think about it, they're still learning how to move, period. They're still learning how to squat. They're still learning how to run efficiently. They haven't practiced these things fully yet. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We need to not think about it as a workout, more or less, but also just getting them to learn how to move, period. It's kind of a learning curve, right? Having them listening to their body with their volume, and then continuing in sports and recreational activities that are not lifting. This is one of the great ways to limit overuse injuries and to make sure that your overall growth will be totally okay. But if you are just doing a general weightlifting routine 2 to 3 times a week, you could probably even do 4. If you are an adolescent or a teenage lifter, there will be absolutely no problem on your growth. And in fact, a lot of times individuals who kind of take advantage of this time to do a little bit of lifting, not a lot, right? Just working on technique, will notice a huge improvement in their overall ability to get stronger, get bigger, get taller, but also just be a better athlete on the field, right? That's what a lot of these people at the end of the day are trying to do. They're trying to improve their overall athletics, and weight training is a great way to reduce the risk of injury for that, and also just improve your muscle strength and power, which can make you an amazing athlete on the field. So go ahead and give that video a like if that section gave you some good value.